Hi, chat. You can't see me because the camera's turned off. Let's fix that. No, I'm over here, camera. Hi, chat. Welcome in. Happy Monday to you. I got a light that I still need to turn on. Welcome, Will. Hello, Jean-Ray. Hello, Kid Zen. Welcome in, everyone. I don't know why dinner command is not working. So many things are broken right now. So many things. I'm working on it, chat. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's slow, and I don't think I made any real serious progress in the last, actually today, even though I tried. Participation sticker. We're continuing on the pork train tonight. We're doing bacon. I'm going to be curing my bacon, but it's not that complicated at this point. We're creating our seasoning curing mix. We're coating our bacon in it. And then it's going in the fridge for a week. So it's not like we're going to be cooking it tonight. What we are going to be cooking is more of that beef birria. We're going to be finishing up this pork stock, not chicken stock, pork stock. And we're going to turn the two of them into ramen, which I think sounds delicious. Yeah, the dinner command just not working apparently. I filled it out. The bot just doesn't like it, I guess. Oh, what's this? Why is that command gone? Let's add that back in. There we go. Still got to add the date at the top like it used to be, but that's filed under problems that are not critical right now. So how we all doing tonight? I have had a uneventful day. Like, I basically woke up, turned on the stock, and started working on SprinkleBot and got nowhere with SprinkleBot. I did a little shopping. I picked up last minute items for making the ramen tonight. Some radishes and an avocado. Let's see how we can go, how far we can go without me realizing you need to see what's going on the cutting board. It's a fun game on this stream. Happens pretty often, unfortunately. Still too hot outside here today, but tolerable. Less fun with the giant pot of stock on the stove in your house, heating the whole place up. AC is like, why are you doing this to me? So it says it played ads. I didn't see the ad alert. Oh yeah, that's not working in that scene, so it may not show it on that scene. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. Cheers. Okay, where do we start with things tonight? I think we do bacon first. Just get that done and out of the way and don't have to worry about it. That's going to require some salt. No. I lost my ratio that I was using for the bacon. Had to pull that back up. So we need to start by weighing how much belly we have to cure. And we don't have to be exact on this one. It's just roughly how much cure we're making. Though, I mean, the more accurate, the more. Pretty close on that for eyeball and weights. 27, let's add the extra side to it. Actually, I guess I don't need this right now. Hey, John. So we got the salt. Oh, you need to show the cutting board again. You need to grab our pink salt. This is the don't eat salt. Prog powder #1. Okay, turning the heat off on our stock because that can now start cooling down. But that's where our stock is at, if you're curious, chat. After all of this cooking, all of this hanging out. Yeah, it's looking yummy. It may be not, it's got that crackly, oily top to it that we're not going to deal with, but underneath it's looking pretty. Okay, this is our basic cure. From here, we're basically just adding some other flavors and notes that, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna add some stuff in here. My past experience is it doesn't translate very well into the bacon itself unless you're like really heavy-handed with it. Time. I'm just leaving all the stuff open today. Oh, I'm not even recording. Lovely. Let's start recording. That'd be nice. It'd be good to have a recording of me doing this bacon. Give me a moment, chat. I'll be away from this camera for a sec. Why are you looking at that, camera? Like, how did you get that turned around? I don't know what's going on with the... Okay, so we got thyme in there. Let's definitely add some pepper in there. So this isn't going to be like the peppered bacon that you have at the store. Like, this is all going to get washed off. As I was just saying, this is going to add very minimally to the actual flavor of our bacon, in my opinion. Am I still doing it regardless? Yes. But, yeah. It's not really a major game changer. Don't even have this door closed so I can set off the smoke alarm. So that was bourbon. Now we'll add a little maple. Because we have the pink salt in there, like, you don't want to be eating pink salt. So these are all going to get coated in this salt mixture. They're going to sit in the fridge for 7 days. And then we're going to wash it off. And then if we want to add some flavoring to like the outside of the bacon itself, like if you want to add, say, herbs on the outside, or I would probably add some peppercorn on the outside, you can do that later on. But this is the early on part to this. We need something to use for spreading this onto our bacon, and we got long strips of bacon. I think we're gonna have to use a pan. Yeah. And overview camera is not cooperating, so we're going to switch to overview and try and get it to cooperate here. There, that's a little better. It's not some image from like... Not some weird image from like the middle of last night. Okay. Salt on the tray. I have a suspicion that I'm going to need more of this mixture, even though this is the proper mixture for these. Smelling bourbon-y. Basically just dropping it on there, getting it a good coat, flip it over. Make sure it's not too gratuitous, since, like I said, we gotta coat all of these. Really smells of bourbon right now. That bourbon is smelling so strong right now. In the cheesecloth. Oh, this isn't cheese. These are veggies. I just got them in the shopping bags from the market. What I'm working on right now is putting our cure on our bacon. Or on my bacon. I say that like chat gets to eat it. Sorry, chat. Yep, that's about how much I'm missing. We're just gonna do regular salt for this last little bit. This one won't be as pretty for long if I keep it. Why has this got to be such an issue? Why can't these things just open? You go to all the trouble and money of making them, and then they're impossible to get out from under the stickers. Finally. Poor spout. It's Morton's. Just basic kosher salt. I've given up on the other brand. I forget the name of it. With the white and red box. That it's got that like angled pull spout thing that just rips off every time you use it. Stopped using their product entirely just because of how bad the spout on their box is. I don't know why I'm pushing air out of these. I don't really need to worry about that. They're just going in the fridge. So yeah, I like how that salt cure ended up looking. I don't think that's too heavy on the thyme. Especially since, like I said, we're going to be rinsing that off. One of the few times I strongly advocate washing your cure off is when you use pink salt. And so back into the fridge, I'm just going to put them right back into the crisper since it's convenient. Okay, stock. We need to start dealing with stock already. I didn't even think about the crispy bacon and the crisper. That's definitely a dad joke. In other words, I didn't come up with I wasn't. That wasn't a play on dad joke. Chat, are all pun jokes automatically dad jokes, or like, because I feel like that's a little sexist. That's a very good question, Hockey Mask. I have no clue. So we need another pot to move this stock from this side over to the other side to strain it out. And we get our strainers out here too. Is that going to fit into a smaller... It might fit in there. It might fit in there. That's alright, you stay right there, Hook. That might actually work, but I still think it's probably too small, so we're going to go over here to this one. Fine mesh to catch all the small stuff. Heavy mesh catch the bones and heavier stuff that might damage the mesh. Yeah, an audience, I mean, by itself determines if anything's a joke to even begin with. There are most certainly jokes that are not inappropriate, but inappropriate in the wrong audience. There's inappropriate jokes, don't get me wrong, but... So we got our first scoop of pork stock here. Yeah, it's some nice pork stock. Oops, bumped the camera. Sorry, chat. But you can see how that spine is still holding together strongly there. Actually, I don't know if you can see that far into the pot or not. But like, that is all. Transitioning from 24 ounce to pot that can handle bones a little bit better. Fall apart. Here's a big tip for the home stock makers. When you're cooling down your stock, pull the bones off of it. Don't leave it sitting there with all the stuff in there to cool down with all of the veggies and the meat and the bones, but particularly the bones, because the bones insulate, so it will hold the heat so much longer if you leave it on the bones. It would, and for quite a while too, like I would bring stocks back after working at farmers markets to cool them down and stuff after, I got everything back. And, it would take, hour, 2 hours for the veg stock to get down there. But if you're leaving it on the bones, it's going to stay 3-4 hours before it gets even down to 140-ish. At least with the ratios and what I was doing back then. So we're going to let this drain for a little bit. It's sitting in the liquid already, so yeah, it makes a big difference. And to be honest, I don't know if it must be just that they retain heat so much, like, even better than water. Lifting this up a bit more so that it can drain out that last couple of inches. And it's heavy enough that I don't just want to sit here and hold it entirely with my hands. So I'm using the pan to brace the one side. Now here's the real reveal, chat. Let's clean the screens out immediately. Don't let anything dry in them. Don't let them tie up my sink. Just get them going. Not concerned with that little bit of liquid that's still left there. I'm gonna live without it. Let's get this out of the sink. And I'm trying my best not to get myself all of the stock stuff stuck in the sink. It always backs me up every time I make stock. Because it's not necessarily so much these filters, though they're usually a culprit too. But the pots themselves, getting both of those through the sink. So I think we're going to let this sit for a little bit. We're going to move this out of the way, somewhere where I don't have to worry about it. Put it on the chair. And we're going to start reheating our beef birria. We're going to move this to the other side. Gonna move that. Just threw that in the fridge as is last night. Don't know why I even bother with 3. We really only need 1 for this. So I'm only going to use 1. That's going to be good enough anyways. Which are you? You're the cilantro. And the lime. So I think what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to get all the prep ready for our ramen. The cilantro, the lime, the avocado, maybe can save that. I sort of doubt it, though. So what's everyone been watching lately? I've been hooked lately by Taskmaster stuff. I haven't seen it until I had heard things about it here and there, and now I'm like absolutely hooked and just going all the way through it. Streams are good. I'm good with people watching streams. We want that here. Okay, so we got all of this prepped. I'm not gonna cut the avocado until absolutely needed time. But everything else we got prepped here. Let's grab a couple of bowls for those so we can set them safely away from all that I'm about to do with the stock. And it's going to be bagging time, chat. Need you a little bit later. Need you and you right now. This needs to be an easy pourable spot. And I need to figure out what did I do with my jug. What happened to my one big porn jug? Oh, there it is. Hid it from myself in plain sight. Yeah, let's clean up our large ladle to use that to fill up our pitcher. Make sure we're not adding any debris into this party. Wait a minute, that wasn't enough. Oh well. We'll go back to that one. These are 24-ounce bags, not 16-ounce. Where can I get this so chat can actually see that number? And okay. There was a place, I think it's long closed, but during the sort of like peak bone broth stock craze, there was a New York place called Brodo that had opened. Brodo being broth in Italian. And was selling broth for breakfast with all sorts of oils and infusions that you could add into it. If I recall correctly, it was little more than like a walk-up window that was built out of the kitchen of another restaurant. I'm living with it. It's over. It's a bit heavy. I'm living with it though. For a while, I offered it out of my trailer at the markets, my own stocks, but like, I'd get like 1 or 2 a day. Like, it was not worth it. Pot liquor is more, I think of pot liquor as being either beans, legumes, or greens. And being more the liquid that's left over after you cook them, and less something you're cooking to create to use something else in something else. Definitely great stuff with beans. Pot liquor. You need some pot liquor with your beans. Hey, Chef Peanut. Ooh, you're in Vegas these days? Vegas can definitely be toasty. Well, hopefully it's treating you well. Hopefully your luck has been good. Though most people I know that live in Vegas avoid the strip at all costs. That still doesn't mean there isn't like slot machines in like every gas station in that city. Or maybe that's out of date these days. Maybe they don't do that anymore. But it used to be like, if you had a business in the Vegas area, you at least had one slot machine. Or you were a tourist trap. You work for IGT? Or you work for a casino? Nice. Moving on up. It's still a little warm. Even though I didn't do anything but hold the stock in this, it's still a little warm, than I want to hold on to it like this. Hey, Lotus Wings. Welcome, welcome. We're portioning up the pork stock I've been working on for the last 24 hours or so. We're reheating the birria from last night on the stove. And we're going to be making an incredibly lazy, incredibly easy version of ramen using that in the pork stock tonight. Awesome, Peanut. Safe travels. It's our last 2 bags or so here. I need a little bit left over with soup. Actually, this might be our last bag here. Yeah, we're gonna call it there. Save the rest of that for soup. Zoop. So how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. $2.8 gallons. Or 360 ounces. Probably a few extra there because I was over on a good portion of these, but roughly 360 ounces. So not my best yield on stock to date, but it's not unhappy with it at all. This looks gorgeous. Let's give it a little salt and see what we got. Coats the mouth. You get that immediate like satiation feeling from the gelatin. It's even better when it cools down a little bit. It's still a little too hot to be drinking it like this. Well, it's good to drink it this way, but it's a little warm for optimal. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Okay, now we're going to seal all of these, which I'm just going to push as much air out of them as I can. They're not going to be completely vacuum sealed. And then we're going to melt them closed using your bag sealer over here. That is on entirely way too high. Actually, it's not too high. Melted it okay. Okay, melt on that. Careful with the knife points around the bags. Frankly, you have to be a little careful with the sides of these bags too, because once they get frozen and solid, the sides of those bags are both thin enough. Like they'll do some damage. You drop a block of frozen stock on something. It's sort of surprising. And so there is our stock. Or my stock. I wish I could sell it to you, chat. We're going to lay these down in hopes they'll cool down a bit cooler on the counter. Actually, we're going to go in this direction. Sitting here, the air conditioner from my house is over in that corner, and it shoots this way, and so it's going to be hopefully blowing a little cool air over this area. Get these a little bit cooler. Yeah, I was doing this wrong. I want them facing that direction, but I want them overlapping. Grab a photo of our brown gold. doing the 21st since it's the day that I cut up the pig. So those are going to sit there and chill for another hour or two to cool down on the counter. And then they'll go into chest freezer or freezer. I'll probably take the ground pork. This freezer is mostly empty. I think I got a frozen pizza in there. We'll move the frozen pizza and the ground pork into the chest freezer and put these in there likely. How's our birria looking? It's looking melted up now. Let's see, are we there yet already? I think we're already there, chat. I think we're making dinner. Tonight went quicker than I anticipated. So I'm not making ramen noodles. I've said that several times now to caution people, but one last time, I'm not making my own ramen noodles tonight. Might be enough for this. I think that might be a good batch there. Let's see what we got for choices of pork here, or beef. Are we up to temp here yet? We're warm. Let's give that a bit more heat, warm that up a bit more. Let's throw a touch of salt in there too, since it's been sitting overnight. Things need a bit more salt after they've been sitting for a bit. We're also going to add salt to our stock that we're going to be adding to this. Oh, it's so good. That one looks like a gorgeous avocado. Color is beautiful. It's nice and soft. Let's hope that a whole bunch of bugs didn't bite into it on the other side. And we got a bubble over here on our Birria. Birria. Trying to get some of the non-oily bottom goodness. Hi, Tenkaku. Hi, Ten. Welcome back, Ten. Now we're going to add our stock in there. I just sunk my avocado doing that. So it's not the prettiest egg-full ramen that's perfectly structured. I tried to make it pretty. I mildly failed. I think it's going to be delicious whether it's pretty or not. How long's the music been stopped? Oh, it's still going. Okay, it's just quiet. And so we have ramen chat. I always forget to wipe the rim. So there we go, chat. We got ramen. We got pork stock. And we got bacon curing. It was a little bit of a quicker stream than I anticipated. I mean, we've barely been about 2 hours here. A little less if you don't count the 15-minute intro. Be back here on Wednesday. Do the ingredient challenge. Let's see, let's actually wrap up the ingredient challenge here on stream. I'll let everyone know what we're doing. Let's see here. I should have done this while there was still video to show you. Doritos have won 5-4 for Wednesday. And so I will be making dinner and dessert using Doritos. Dinner and dessert using Doritos. Ooh. Let's change this. Let's fix this scene a little bit. Now you got me think. I can't do this for a sweet dessert, but now you got me thinking of a cheesecake that's a savory cheesecake with the Dorito crust that you can maybe even eat with Doritos. Like, that was one thing I wanted to do at a place, was I wanted to do as a starter a simple starter for everyone at the place. Instead of bread and butter, I was thinking of doing little mini peppered goat cheese cheesecakes and frozen butter, vanilla butter. Or no, not vanilla butter, frozen ice cream like butter that was still spreadable but frozen. Anyways, savory cheesecakes have been in my mind for quite a while. It's something that I've wanted to toy with as far as a legitimate savory dish for a while. And maybe I should do that as far as... Maybe I should do that for one night. Maybe we should do a savory cheesecake dinner. I do have cream cheese in the refrigerator, chat. Back when I made the best cheesecake, I had to buy cheese, and it was cheaper for me to just get the extra brick and use it sometime in the future. Cream cheese doesn't go bad very quickly. It goes bad, but not, like, it's a couple months. Alright, folks, so I will see all of your lovely faces back here 4:30 Pacific on Wednesday. Getting back into the sort of more normal streaming after this whole pork weekend. Definitely more pork going to be on the menu here in the future. I got all this pork to use now. But other than that, things back to normal. Hope to see y'all back here on Wednesday. Good night, folks.